Hello, I am Kodili-nye, the son of the wonderful. Welcome back to another round of street vlogging, and we are here again to discuss on this street vlogging. We have a beautiful, I would say, a beautiful weather today. You can see the whole place. You can see how the whole place is, and you can agree with me that the weather today is wonderful. And that's why we are here today to discuss on very important topic, because those topics will bring about a complete turnaround in our homeland, and will reawaken some of the sleeping guys, both in the government, politicians, and ordinary people in the street. There have been a lot of outcries in Lagos, and owing to demolitions and I would say political and economic sabotage of our people, and also of Nigeria as a nation, because if you might recall that the country called Nigeria, which is our country, our homeland, has actually undergoing a lot of issues, hardship. People are suffering. But what you see is that the people that are actually creating jobs, the politicians in the federal and in Lagos, what they wanted to do is basically to render those economic activities useless on flimsy excuses. And this happened to our people always because of our nonchalant attitude and some of our laziness in thinking out and doing things as we're supposed to do. And most of the time we keep on the blame game, but we have any Gigi, any Jikwama. But what Beggar believes is that I don't know why we don't want to use the yam, and we don't want to cut the yam as well. We don't want to. So now open up a very important discussion today, which I do believe as we discuss this, we will have part 1, part 2, and other things and others. And I do believe that you are going to tag many people because this is going to shake the table and also take away whatever that has closed our eyes to the reality that we have everything that we need, and we can also change the narrative, and we can also be whatever we want, and we can also rebuild whatever we want to rebuild. Let us just look at that little beauty there. I don't know what you are seeing. You are seeing what I'm seeing. The little dog enjoying in this car. I think you are seeing what I'm seeing. So let us continue on our discussion, because this discussion is very, very important. Matters arise in Onitsha and the urgency of the matter. Onitsha and the urgency of the matter. The urgency. I think part 1. I think that's what we're gonna call this. So now, Professor Charles Chukwuma actually, draw a lot of attention when on one of the visits to Onitsha, at the early days of his administration, talked about Onitsha, a city that is now dead and resurrecting in Asaba. And he said that he is going to reawaken or resurrect Onitsha back again. And the people were shocked, and people were commenting everywhere that this guy has the ball, and he has the determination to do that, and that he will have the urgency because he's a professor in economics and knows that the importance of speed and proper planning. So now, 3 years, 7 months down the line, much much has not been seen about Onitsha. And because of that, the outcry continued. Outcry continued about what is happening in Lagos. Every time we are hearing all those things, and people now remember that basically we can be better than this. We can be better than this. We have Onitsha as one of the greatest cities, with the population, with the building, the real estate. But what we fail to have in Onitsha is basically the policy formulators. I mean, the politicians, leadership. That's what we are lacking. Not just, I'm not talking about the government house. I'm talking about the local government. I'm talking about the leaders in the town unions, that make up Onitsha Metro. And I'm talking about the traditional institutions. I'm talking about the captain of industries, the captains of the trade unions, the Onitsha main market leaders, and the market leaders, the women and the men. And I'm talking about also the property developers and many of them. We now lack leadership in every space. That has actually crippled us. But we are going to start this part one talking about what the main issue that need to be resolved. Unless this is resolved, nothing is going to happen. We are talking about Governor Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, that unless he arrives quickly and do the necessary things, Onitsha will continue in the way it is at the moment. If you look at Onitsha, 99% of the investment is by the people. You now ask yourself, why is the government in our homeland not thinking about investing billions in Onitsha once and for all, taking it as an emergency something, like a revolution? Why are we not thinking on that area? Why are we not thinking like that? Why are we still, dropping little water in the ocean, thinking that you are fed the ocean? That's the question to ponder in this part one. Why is it that we cannot open Onitsha? Why is it that we cannot tidy up Onitsha? The people are doing their part. Why can't we organize them with policy formulations? Why can't we invest? The people are ready, but where is the leadership? That's the question. That's why the place has remained and the people has remained like a sheep without a shepherd. Why can't the shepherd arise once and for all? If the shepherd can arise now, in 6 months, no one can recognize Onitsha. If you look at what is happening in Enugu City, I'm not talking about Enugu State. The little Pitamba is actually doing in Enugu City. Look at what is happening there. If the same thing Anambra State will do that in Onitsha, we are not saying that other places will be neglected. No. What we are saying is that invest more in Onitsha and Onitsha will repay back immediately. The government is not going to do it free of charge. What we need to do is to mobilize all available resources, because this is emergency. We need to create something bigger than Lagos in Onitsha. If you look at Onitsha have a comprehensive advantage than Lagos. People don't understand that most of those we are talking about that are in Lagos, they were actually in Onitsha. They all based in Onitsha before. What caused the exodus? Some people were saying it because of seaport, because of international airport. Not really the case. What happened to them is because the government completely has not been able to grow with the level of investment in the people. The level of investment the people have put on is so much that it needed the government to basically come in and do their own part. But basically the government refuses to do their own part, and that's actually make them to move to Lagos, not because of seaport and other things people are talking about. Now, that's what I'm saying, that Chukwuma Soludo have a bigger role to play in this. And if he can do all those things we are going to enumerate in the second part of this, you will bet me that suddenly 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, suddenly Onitsha will blossom. That's what we are talking about. But you need to wait for the part 2 of this. And as you wait for this, basically you will see that what we are talking about, nobody dare to talk about these things. The blogger don't say all those things because they think it doesn't sell. But what we are saying, because we have the homeland consciousness, this channel is a pro-homeland, is geared towards reawakening the homeland, resurrecting the homeland from the shackles of maladministration and lazy politicians and so many things that has gone wrong in the past, offering solutions that can change things for the betterment of our people, so that our people cannot remain in the wilderness of indecision and hopelessness. So that our homeland will rise and be one of the homelands that we can talk about. Onitsha is going to rise, but as we need to do something drastic to make it to happen. But we cannot do it alone. We must do it in partnership, because if we don't, what happens is that we continue the cry in the wilderness. We continue the cry in the desert of no decision. So that's why I'm saying that if you love our homeland, this is the type of vlog, this is the type of video that need to have 1 million views, that you need to share and thank the governor of Anambra State whenever you watch these things, because this is going to shaking things up. Because we want him to succeed, we want the Anambra to work, we want Anibo to work, we want Onitsha to rise. And please help us to spread this news. And as you spread it, God will surely bless you. For Ndebai Gardenatama and I Gardenatama. I am still Kodili-nye, the son of wonderful. I want to invite you to part 2 of this discussion, and may God bless you. I am the son of the wonderful. See you in the next one. Bye.